Welcome back to Get Down to Business, the show all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. I'm thrilled to be joined by Jonathan Orpin, who is a lifelong entrepreneur and sustainability advocate who founded not one, but two successful eco-friendly companies in the design, build, and manufacturing industries. Absolutely thrilled to have you on the program, Jonathan. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks. Good to be here.
We're going to talk all about employee stock ownership plans, and we'll use an acronym of ESOP coming up in just a few minutes. But Jonathan, before we get there, tell us a little bit about your journey into, call it entrepreneurship, but also your passion for sustainability.
Yeah, I think if you're born to be an entrepreneur, you can't help yourself. That's certainly going to be my story. And I was interested in sustainability back from the early 80s as a result of the OPEC oil embargo that suddenly opened all our eyes to oil being a commodity that we should be paying attention to. Suddenly became interested in insulation. I became interested in solar energy. That kind of got me into the insulation part, kind of got me into building shelter that didn't take a lot of heat to warm or to cool, and the opposite. And just became really involved in that, and it has kept my interest, that along with high-quality crafted wood products in places for the last 35 years.
Yeah, 35 years, which is great. And I know in 2022, you sold both of your companies, New Energy Works and Pioneer Millworks, to your employees, and you took on the title of CEO as a ESOP, again, Employee Stock Ownership Plan. So let's talk a little bit about that. Why is an ESOP a good option for founders and entrepreneurs to utilize as a succession plan for their business interests long term? It seems like an interesting strategy.
Yeah, it's a great one. And it's crazily that it's not used more, Shalom. And we just can call them ESOPs. That's what everybody says.
Cool.
So our ESOP started in two tranches. Tranche is just a fancy word for slice or part. So about 5 years ago, we went to 30% employee owned. And then the beginning of last year or the end of the year before, we became 100%. So two tranches or two steps to become 100% employee owned. I always say we are, there's a few different ways an entrepreneur can transition out of a company. They get carried out in a box, leaving a mess behind them. That's not uncommon, or they can sell to a third party who may or may not be able to maintain the particulars of that business. We see that fail all the time. So, particularly a quirky, bi-coastal, multi-fingered business like ours that is mission-driven, using the triple bottom line of people, planet, and profit as equal important aspects of our business. We didn't see that as really reasonable, whether it was some individual with a lot of money coming in, or worse yet, a venture capitalist coming in and needing a return on his or her investment. We just really saw that the right way to do it would be to share the future with the people who actually made the thing, which is my employees, or what we like to say is our coworkers. So I've had people with me for as much as 36 years. That's the record right now. One of my best guys just hit 30 years last week. And we have a variety in between. And of course, we have new people too. And that's important to any business.
Sure. And what a great way to bring people in. What a great way for recruiting as well.
I think so. We are told it is. Again, when you're 22 and you're not thinking, you're pretty sure you're immortal. I'm not sure that retirement is on your mind as much as it could be, but it is a good way to build a retirement plan, as well as a good way to be part of the ownership structure, so to speak. I mean, really being able to understand that the work you do and the success you have is shared among you and your coworkers, not just as a way to honestly line the pockets of ownership.
Absolutely. So true win-win, which is great. Again, I'm chatting with Jonathan Orpin, a lifelong entrepreneur who, again, sold both of his companies to his employees, took on the title of CEO as they continue as an ESOP, which is great. And so obviously we're going rapid fire over here. Jonathan, as you were an early adopter of the green building movement, how has the business evolved as the topic of climate change has become such a focus in the industry? And essentially, why is sustainability a good strategy for business?
Well, there are two different questions. The whole sustainability thing has gone up and down over the last 30 years. And right now it's way up. And I'm so thankful for that. I used to have to convince people of the importance of thoughtful use of materials and resources into their homes, as well as operational expenses of heating and cooling, as I mentioned earlier. And now it's really people are coming to us for that reason. And that's really great. But it's a good way to run a business too, because every study shows that while finances are important for the people that you hire, what is more important is a place that they want to be and a place that they can feel not only as a part of theirs, as we described in the democratization of the workplace, but also, frankly, do they believe in your mission? And that is so important. And these days, people believe in the mission of sustainability.
They sure do. Certainly, you can't turn your TV on without talking about it. So again, my big takeaway from our conversation today, Jonathan, is that there's so many win-wins over here as you talk about taking care of the environment. You talk about taking care of your employees. Lots of win-wins. And Jonathan, I know that this, as you said, is a winning succession plan for you, for your companies, for New Energy Works and Pioneer Millworks. So congratulations.
Thanks, Shalom. And I just want to say one more thing here, that from a business only standpoint, ESOPs and mission-driven companies tend to be more profitable than non. Now, not always the case, but it is a good business strategy.
As said, a true win-win. Jonathan, how can we learn more about you and your companies?
Well, newenergyworks.com is a big one, or pioneermillworks.com. They're both there, and you can find my bios on either of those, newenergyworks.com or pioneermillworks.com.
Perfect. And we'll link in the show notes as well. Quick break. We'll be right back.